So this is going to be an instructional slash overview video of the Swift Bolero 712. This is a 2014 plate. So the main reason for this video is to highlight obviously where the main components are in the motorhome, like your drain valves, etc. We are going to go around the externals first, and then we will go into the habitation and cab area. Just so you know, this vehicle is in the middle of its PDI, so has yet not been valeted. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet, and the main reason for that is just one, obviously, so you know where the bonnet is, the bonnet release catch, as well as two, if you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So if you open the passenger door, you will see here your bonnet release catch. All you need to do is pull that down once and that will then release. While we are in the cab area, under the passenger seat, there is a toolkit. So that is where you'll have a jack and towing eye in there. And the driver and passenger door do have blackout blinds. To use these, you just need to pinch this tab here, slide them across gently, and then they meet at the end. Same on the front windscreen here. You just pinch this tab here, join them in the middle on a magnetic strip, and then all the front of the cab is blacked out. So as you can see, I've got access to the bonnet area, and like I said, the main reason is in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason really. So your positive terminal is just here, and then your negative terminal point is just going to be here. Here it is. So your negative terminal point is here, just next to the bonnet arm. And then, like I say, your positive is just here under this black cap. Obviously, you've got your screen wash down here right in the front of the driver, just there. So now we are going to carry on around the external of the vehicle. Just so you know, this vehicle does have an awning. On the email, you'll get a separate link how to set up and use an awning. If you need to fill up the vehicle with obviously diesel, if you come to the passenger side, behind this cover, you just need to use the vehicle blade key to access this, and that is where you will fill up with diesel. Here we've got ventilation for your fridge and freezer, so keep that clear all times, just so it's circulating. Here we have your freshwater fill. All you need to do is use your habitation key, take the cover off, put the hose pipe in. When the water starts to come out of this hole, that means your freshwater tank is completely full. As you can see, we've got some storage here. This is under one of the beds in the rear. You can access this storage as well internally by lifting the bed up. This vehicle does have a tow bar attached, as you can see there. And then we do have extra storage on the back. You got a Hymer box, storage box, and there is a reverse camera right at the top as well. Now we are on the driver's side of the habitation. Here we have your toilet cassette. If you want to empty / clean your toilet cassette, all you need to do is this orange tab here, lift it up and release the toilet cassette like so. When you are wanting to empty your toilet cassette, all you need to do is twist this orange nozzle out to the left, twist this to the left, take the grey cap off, and that will then give you access to empty the toilet cassette. When you are tilting up on this side, if you put your thumb on this button here and hold the button down, that lets air into the top of the cassette, so all the fluids will flow out a lot easier as well. Other than that, you can actually open the toilet cassette blade and clean internally with a hose pipe, or if you need to fill it up with some water to obviously clean as well. Once finished, all you need to do, slide your cassette back into place, push it forward and wait. All you need to do is make sure that this orange tab is down. See how it's still up a little bit because it's not all the way in? That basically locks the cassette so it's not going to move in and out in transit. Here we have your Aldi boiler flue. So you need to keep this clear at all times, especially because obviously when it is burning on gas, this is where the fumes exhaust from. Next locker, we have your gas locker. So you can fit 2 tanks in here. And then obviously we've got your gas regulator at the top. So you've got a 1/2 inch thread there which you connect onto, and then obviously onto the gas cylinders. Directly below that, here we have your grey waste release valve. So this is just a 1/4 turn. On these valves you are better off using 2 hands. One of the hands obviously holding onto the pipe itself, and then the other twisting here, which opens the lever. Like I say, 1/4 turn, open it, and it will drain directly below. Here we have obviously more storage. Again, you can access this internally as well. Just so you know, under here, this black cover is where your leisure battery is, and then at the side of it is where your mains hookup is when you are connected to campsite. So that is everything external wise. We will go into the habitation area just now. You do have, this is locked at the minute, but you can release it, and obviously it's an extra support to obviously climb up into the habitation. So now we are in the habitation. Directly above the habitation door is going to be your control panel for the 12-volt system in the habitation. There's a few settings on here and we'll go through them all. So the first one in the middle is power. As you can see, it's come on. On the left side it's giving you your leisure battery level, and then on the right side it would give you your vehicle battery level. On this vehicle you can select which battery you are using, so you can actually run the leisure system on your vehicle battery. Just be cautious with that, because if you forget that you're on vehicle battery and drain it, obviously you need to then jump start and charge obviously your vehicle battery back up. So left side, vehicle battery. If I want to change to the left side is leisure battery. If I want to change to the vehicle battery on the right hand side, all I need to do is tap it, and as you can see here is my symbol that I'm on the engine battery, which gives you a rough percentage there. I'm going to switch back to the leisure because obviously I don't want to drain the engine battery. Up here, obviously awning light, turn it on, it will light up here. That is obviously your awning light on. Frost protection, you can turn this on. This is obviously protecting, it's a heater on your grey waste. So if you're going somewhere really cold, obviously put this on so it doesn't obviously freeze in the tank. You've got your water pump. On your water pump, you only want to turn this on obviously when you've got physical water in your fresh water tank. Otherwise you will potentially burn out the motor of the pump when running dry. Obviously power, press this one, view levels, so it highlights everything level wise. And then the far right is your cabin lights. Top on this one here, top right, wastewater level. So obviously when you view levels, it will give you your rough percentage there. Same again, top left here is your fresh water level. On your fresh water, if you want to drain and empty the fresh water, the way to do that is by pumping the water through the tap through the grey waste. That's how you will have to drain on this vehicle. The reason for that is because this vehicle has been fitted with a self-leveling system, which is on here. And when the self-leveling system has been fitted, because of where the actual jacks are, they've had to blank off the freshwater drain. So the drain to drain your fresh water tank completely empty when you're not using it is turning your pump on, opening the tap and pumping all the fresh water out of the tap. Here we've got your Elder heating system. It's straightforward. Turn it on. And then you've got a few settings. The one at the top is your temperature of your heating. Next one down, we've got your hot water. The bottom two are your sources. So obviously you've got electric, 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt and 3 kilowatt. And the one right at the bottom is gas. So if you're off grid, you might be on gas on its own for your heating and hot water. If you're on campsite, you might want to just use electric, or sometimes you can obviously turn on mixed as well, so you can have electric and gas, depending obviously if the campsite give you enough electric. That is quite straightforward, to be fair. It's either on or off. On the L, the heating system, it is a wet system, so it just takes 15 minutes to engage and start heating up completely, because it's not blown air. To turn it off, just press here and that will completely shut down. We've got dotted around the vehicle 240 volt sockets, which are will only work on mains hookup when you're connected at campsite. Obviously 12 volt. You've got aerial. There is an aerial in this cupboard above the fridge, as you can see there. And that is controlled obviously by lifting this arm up, undoing this nut here, and then you can slide the pole up and down and move it around to obviously get the best signal. So that blue light is the best, it is giving you the best signal. I think it will change to green for strong signal, and then if it's red, it will obviously that is weak signal or no signal at all. Got obviously bench seating in the front. Like I say, you can access all these storage underneath here. Also, this does convert into a bed by pulling out like so on each side. I think it does have support legs as well in the middle. And then obviously all you need to do is use the cushions, the back cushions as infills, and that makes obviously a small double in the front area as well. Up here behind the driver we have your 12 volt fuse system. So this is where all your 12 volt fuses are. So if anything pops, this is where you need to check. And then above you have got your mains breaker. So obviously this is when you're connected on 240 volt side. So when you plug in at campsite and you've physically got no 240 volts electric, first thing to do is check the campsite post in case it's tripped. And then the next thing is check here in case anything's tripped. If nothing has tripped, you've got a potential faulty either cable, or you've got a faulty campsite post, so you might need to just put it into another one. But this is where you'll come for any fuses that blow, or obviously the mains 240 volt is tripped. There's some more 240 volt sockets, light switches. Just so you know, if you have turned the master light switches off here, they won't come back on until you physically switch them on here. So if you do turn on the control panel up there, if the master switch is off, then obviously the lights won't come back on. As you can see, this vehicle does have a microwave. The microwave will only work when you are connected to mains hookup, so that's on 240 volt. Just because of how powerful they are, they need a lot more power. We've got a 4-ring gas burner, 3 is gas, 1 is electric. Your electric will only work on mains hookup again. And then obviously you've got a glass cover here. One safety thing we do highlight is this glass cover. When you have used the stove, keep the glass cover up just to let the stove temperature cool down, as you could potentially shatter the glass. Directly below the oven and grill, in the left corner there, as you can see, we have got some gas valves. So them gas valves are just to isolate one of the appliances. So if one of the appliances goes faulty, i.e. if the oven goes faulty, you can isolate and switch that off and use the gas around the motorhome still. Here we have obviously your kitchen tap. What we're going to do now is we are going to bleed or vent, prime your water system. So if you want water to come out your tap, how we're going to prime it, first thing we're going to do is shut the grey waste valve. So obviously grey waste water is not going to come directly out. And then next thing we're going to do is fill up your fresh water tank completely full. Once it's full, you need to come to your control panel up here, turn on your control panel and then turn on the pump. When you turn on the pump, it will start pumping water from the tank to the tap. And then to get water out of the tap, obviously you just need to open the tap on the cold side. And what will happen, it will then pump water through all the pipe work and come out your tap on cold. Once you get a steady flow, that means it's primed on the cold side. If we want to prime our hot water, we need to twist it to the hot side, lift it up, and then what that's going to do is going to pump water from the fresh water tank. It's going to pump it into your boiler. So there is another valve at the boiler that you will need to close, otherwise when it's pumping through the boiler it will just pump straight out if the valve is open. When the valve is closed, obviously it will fill the boiler up, and then the water what's in the boiler will come through on the hot side of the tap. When you get a steady flow again on hot, that means your water system is completely primed, ready to use. The only thing you will need to do on the hot side is obviously turn on your Aldi system and obviously boil that water because it's not instant hot water. Here we have your fridge freezer, and then here we have your settings, your controls for the fridge freezer. So this is a three-way fridge. So on the left side here we've got your on button, so all you need to do is press and hold. The next one, which looks like a plug socket, that's when you connect it to mains hookup, so at campsite. Next one, what looks like a gas symbol, a flame, that means obviously when you're on campsite, when you're off grid, then obviously, or in a car park, anything off grid, obviously be on gas. And then the battery one, that is when the engine is running. You've got A, which will, if you put it on A setting, it will automatically select one of these which it finds as the best source. So if you start the engine, it will automatically go on the battery if you've got it on A. If you plug in at campsite, it will automatically change over to the plug. The only thing on gas you need to be cautious of, if you do have it on auto and you've parked up, it will try and turn on the gas, but obviously if you've turned the gas off at the cylinders while travelling, obviously you might come up with an error. Here you'll have your temperature, so you select this here through the temperature, you'll go through the settings and select your temperature. As you can see, turned it on, it's automatically gone to gas. A's lit up because I've selected automatically select, but if I turn the engine on, it will automatically move to battery. Other than that, I can manually select as well. Here is your temperature. You're going to choose your temperature depending on obviously how much you fill up the fridge freezer, and to turn it off just press and hold and it will shut down. Here is obviously the two single beds, so directly under the floor here you've got access to your grey waste tank, so you can open this cap here if you want to clean internally with a hose pipe. Under this bed here we've got storage, and obviously you can lift this up as well, like so. So here is where your boiler is. So this is your Aldi boiler, and this yellow valve down here, it's hard to see on the camera, but basically that yellow valve is the drain valve for the boiler. Currently that is in the vertical position, so that is open. So like I say, if I fill the boiler up with water, it's just going to pour straight out the motorhome because the valve is open. If I want to close it, all you need to do is knock it down. As you can see, in the horizontal position, that means that valve is closed. So when I'm priming the boiler, the water will go straight into the boiler and then obviously through the tap. On this side, same again, we've got storage directly there. This is the one you can access externally as well. And this under the floor, I have just said it's grey waste, but this is actually your fresh water tank. I've just realised where I am in the location of the van, but yeah, this is your fresh water tank here at the rear. The last bit is obviously your toilet. So here, if you want to use the toilet, you need to use this blade here to open and shut the toilet, and basically what that's doing is opening the blade for the toilet cassette. You've got a blue button here, which is your freshwater flush. So that will use fresh water from the freshwater tank, and obviously you do need to turn on your pump for this to pump water to swill out the bowl. And as you can see here, we've got an indication that the toilet cassette is full, which currently it is full, as we've put some cleaning chemical in there. So yeah, if you get an indication up here that the toilet cassette is full, that means it is full, and you are better off emptying it as soon as you can. You've got a removable table in here for the front area for your dining, your dining area, and obviously this is the fluid system for your Aldi heating. You shouldn't have to top this up, but it's worth keeping an eye on the level in here as well. Here we've got your shower cubicle. So you don't need to prime the shower. If one tap's primed, all it will do is just vent out any air in the pipework. Same on your tap, and you've got your light switch here as well. So that is the instructional / overview video complete of the 2014 Swift Bolero 712. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call.